We are in the final run of Pioneers 18. Now, yesterday, the top 50 startups were pitching all day long and were judged by our jury of international industry investors. They narrowed them down to 8 pitches. Actually, they narrowed them down to 7 pitches, and you narrowed them down to 1 pitch with the wild card. And now you're going to see those guys on stage soon pitching to you. Now, this year, we have an incredible special prize for our Pioneer of the Year. Our winner is going to have the chance to show off their pioneering technology around the globe. First, they will head east to Thailand for Techsauce. If you don't know what that is, that's an event, and let's take a look at a video to show you what it is.
This is a conventional 18. Family of how? It falls over when you try it. SpaceX rocket.
Techsauce is one of the best organized startup events anywhere in the world and the premier event in Southeast Asia.
So much youth here, young people really wanting to know what's happening in the future.
Techsauce is an awesome conference. I'm super surprised, super well organized.
A lot more people here, the incredible energy, lots of awesome speakers.
Just the wide variety and diversity of people that are in attendance.
What an incredible world-class event this actually is, with international speakers.
In the whole world to come here to Bangkok. So if you're ready to explore business opportunities in this amazing region, see you there.
Woo! That'd be pretty exciting to go to. Now, they're one of our partners. We have another partner, very important, PwC, and Mr. Dipplinger from PwC would now like to say a few words. So please welcome Mr. Dipplinger to the stage. The stage is yours.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, good afternoon, Pioneers. For 7 years now, entrepreneurs and investors are gathering here at Pioneers to shape the world of tomorrow. And PwC is the key partner of the Pioneers 500 program for the 4th time. And now you may ask, why are we doing that? You know, PwC has a mission. It's to build trust in society and help to solve important problems. And I have to admit, I was very thrilled to see today and yesterday that we are not alone in this mission. We share it with all of you pioneers. So it's really an honor for me to be here today and watch all the startups who made it into the finals. And I want also to congratulate all the startups who impressed us with their great ideas and business model yesterday and today. The potential that you share is incredible. But now I think we are all excited to see who will be the Pioneers of the Year of this year. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that. There you go. You can head off over there, right through there.
Thank you.
Fantastic. All right, we have so many great partners here at Pioneers 18. I'd like to tell you a little bit more about Techsauce, which is such a great name, Techsauce. So they're our partner event in Asia, and the winner will have the possibility to exhibit and pitch at the event in order to establish business relationships in the East. Now, in addition to traveling to Techsauce, our winners will also head west to Silicon Valley with the Pioneers team, with travel courtesy of Austrian Airlines and accommodation provided by our amazing friends at Startup Embassy. They will participate in a customized program and meet the outstanding influential members of the Pioneers Network. We have some amazing partners in our network. They're all over the world. Hello?
Hey, Chris. Yeah, hi.
Oh, hey, Tim. I was hoping to see you here.
I'm sorry, I'm not going to make Pioneers this year.
Ah.
You know, maybe if you guys could figure out, you know, some of your entrepreneurs can figure out teleportation or something, then I can make it happen. But I've got all sorts of conflicts. So.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
That's too bad. That's all right though.
But here's what I'll do.
Okay.
We'll get the winner of your pioneering group, the winning entrepreneur, fly them out to the Silicon Valley, and I'll meet with them. Yeah?
Whoa.
And I might even fund them.
Really?
That's not a guarantee, as you know.
Okay,
but I might even fund them. I met StromCon last year. They were actually quite good.
Oh, yeah, you know, they really enjoyed meeting you.
Yeah.
It'd be great if the winners this year could meet you too. I mean, that would be nice.
Well, okay, so yeah, I love Pioneers, and I'm sorry, but I think this is going to work out really well. Maybe I'll Skype in or do something, and then we'll get that entrepreneur. So yeah, so the winner this year comes out to the Silicon Valley and meets with me.
Wow, that is awesome.
Okay, we good?
You're good, yeah. Thank you, man. That's
All right,
amazing.
Thanks, Chris.
Okay.
Thrilled to be a part of this thing, and Pioneers does awesome work. So yeah, keep up the good work. And all you entrepreneurs out there, win and come see me in Silicon Valley.
All right, thank you, Tim. Woo. Wow. All right. Damn. Okay, so the winner gets to go see Tim Draper in Silicon Valley, which is pretty damn amazing. So, up next, we're going to lead into the final pitching session. Are you ready? Yes, I am too. I'm super ready. All right, let's welcome our 8 finalists on stage. First up, we have SzeleSTIM with Stefan Kampusch. Come on down. It's a little complicated backstage. There we are, Stefan. And after that, we have number 2, Embo Tech with Alexander Damahide. Next up, Materialise X with Hayden Rashid. Gustav with Jan Jadinsky. And next, Gayan Enzymes with Leonardo Alvarez. Schematic with Christian Schimla. And Smokeless with Daniel Kielga. All right. And finally, last but not least, Pago with Adria Aigi. All right, the startups have taken a seat. They obviously have their fans here in the audience. Now I would like to introduce a very important component of this next segment, which is our jury of international investors and entrepreneurs. So please welcome to the stage David Bishop from David Bishop Media. And the wonderful Ralph Simon from Mobilium. Oh, and you may go to whichever table you were at before, I believe. Yes, yes, you could just make your way to the table. Fantastic, thank you, Ralph. Oliver Hole from Speed Invest. All right, and Ekte Ter Inaf Alamask from Samsung Catalyst Fund. And finally, Aaron Van de Vender from Founders Fund. All right, so we have fantastic jurists. They really know their stuff. They're going to be judging the pitches, and they're going to be asking questions during the Q&A. So, the 8 finalists of the Pioneers Challenge, powered by PwC, do not know in what order they're going to be giving their pitches. Yes, which would drive me crazy, but you guys are holding up very well under pressure. Okay, so each startup will have 3 minutes for the pitch. You will hear the countdown as your timer starts, and we're pretty strict about this, okay? So pay attention to the countdown. If you go over, I'll have to stop you. I don't wanna, but I'll have to stop you. And and that's about it. And then afterwards, we will have questions from our judges. So, without further ado, please let the games begin. Oh, yes, well, I need to start the randomizer, evidently. So hang on. Randomizer, begin! Okay. All right. Oh, we have a microphone for you right here. Okay, and unless you'd like to hold it, that would be fine. All right. And are those your, I believe, I'm supposed to check to see if your slides are up. Okay, is that you? Okay, so we're ready to go. 3, 2, 1, start.
Ready for the future. And go.
All right. Hey, everyone. My name is Jan. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Gustav. And Gustav is a platform for businesses to source, manage, and pay their contingent labor. By 2025, more than 50% of the US workforce will be contingent. That means that over 80 million people will not be fully employed, but hired as a temporary worker, contractor, consultant, or freelancer. This massive demographic shift will make the contingent workforce industry a $1 trillion market very, very soon. The problem is that contingent staffing is one of the last remaining industries where most of the connections and business transactions still happen offline. Over 20,000 staffing firms are the sole source for contingent labor for US businesses. So, lack of technology, standardization, and data makes it very hard for those businesses to cope with the rising trend of contingent employment. That's why for the first time ever, Gustav has created a layer of automation that makes it practical for any business to work with the 20,000 staffing agencies at the same time. We give businesses beautiful technology that takes their cumbersome processes into a beautiful workflow and gives them the data they need to make the right hiring decisions. You can imagine that when hiring a contingent worker right now, even in large businesses that hire over hundreds and hundreds of workers over the year, the process of sending requisitions and onboarding and paying the workers is pretty much paper-based. Our business model is that we take a transaction for every dollar that flows through our system and a monthly base fee for the software. So that translates on a typical customer that spends around $10 million on contingent labor, on $12,000 annual recurrent revenue, and around $100,000 in fees. We launched Gustav around 4 weeks ago in the US. We acquired our first customer, $12,000 in annual recurrent revenue and $200,000 in potential fees this year, and over 100 staffing firms using the tool today. We didn't wake up and say, oh, we're going to build a staffing network. We basically started building a staffing agency ourselves. This is my 3 co-founders, Michael, Benjamin, and Daniel, shortly after being accepted at YC. We are backed by world-class investors, Speed Invest, Javed Karim, YouTube founder, and Y Combinator, and many, many others. We are currently raising a round of $2.5 million. 500 are still open to invest at a 7.5 million cap. And a lot of businesses basically build beautiful products that their users love, and that's great. That's what we do as well. But a lot of them have the thoughts behind that. Like Stripe, they basically raise the GDP for the internet. Airbnb makes you belong anywhere. And Flexport brings free trade to the world. And what we want to make at Gustav is we want to make work better for all of us. Thank you very much.
All right, well done. Now I believe we have some questions from the jury. Who would like to begin? Yes, please.
Hi, David Bishop here. So, this is very exciting. I think you've identified a great market for yourself. What keeps you ahead of the game? Why wouldn't an established company already just step in and do exactly what you're doing?
So that's an interesting question. what we do is not rocket science, right? Companies over 10 years already identified the problem on the enterprise space. So there's obviously companies that do a similar thing that we do. So if you're Google or if you're General Motors and you spend $500 million or $1 billion on contingent labor, you have already software that does it for you. Those software providers are really, really old and right now basically ripe to disrupt. And also the second thing is that staffing agencies in the US, there's 20,000 of them, and right now they realize that, wow, they can only compete on on the quality of candidates, on the price. They literally have no brands and technology. So we basically we're not replacing an industry, we give them a platform to enhance their relationships with their existing customers and just make this industry grow much faster. I think there's obviously opportunity in the market for businesses like ours. We just have to be fast.
All right, any other question over here?
Yeah, thank you so much. Maybe you can elaborate a little bit more on the market size and who are the closest competitors?
Sure. So if you look how contingent staffing is broken down in the US, around $700 billion are yearly spent on contingent labor. And that breaks down on temporary workers, contractors, independent consultants, and freelancers. If you look at our competitors right now, around 10 companies are transacting around 100 billion of this market for enterprise customers. The rest, the mid-market, is basically a white space. So this is where we are going as a go-to-market strategy in the moment.
And one more quick question. Yes, Ralph.
The question for you is this: how do you actually go about in your business development? What is the call to action to try and find new business? Because I see you represent a couple of companies already, but what is the pitch that you give to an existing larger scale or mid-size corporation?
So we have two approaches right now. The interesting approach is that we have a market, we can have market network effects through staffing agencies. So we go to the staffing agencies and say, hey, look, now you can use this better technology to enhance your relationship with your existing customers. So with one customer, we onboarded 100 other staffing agencies, and this is kind of like a network effect for us. On the other hand side, on the buyer side, we basically say, hey, look, all the services that you bought pretty manually before, you can buy through our tool much better, and we can even give you a better price. So this is kind of the analogy that we think about.
All right, thank you very much. And now if I could ask the judges to please show us your scores. Oh, you can stay for your scoring.
So I'm biased, but it's 5.
Okay, we have a 5, a 3, a 3, a 3, and a 4. All right, well done. Thank you very much. Could I have the clicker? Oh, you put it right there. Fantastic. And you may return to your seat. Thank you. Okay, so we're going to move along. We're going to start the randomizer again. Stage, could you please show us the next contestant? All right, come on down. Okay, Christian, here you go. Your mic is right here.
I may take it out, may I not?
You may take it out, yes. Okay, now let's confirm that we have your slides.
These look very much like my slides. Hello.
Okay, and now I'm going to ask the stage to begin the countdown.
All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Are you ready for the future?
Yes, we are. Hello and welcome, everyone. My name is...
Let's go.
Hello and welcome, everyone. My name is Christian. I'm one of the 4 founders of Schematic, our startup here in Bonn. My co-founders, Tobias, Sebastian, and Markus, they are software architects and cryptographers. And the last thing is important because we are a data security company, because this is a prerequisite for successful digitization, but also to be compliant with GDPR. And I can say that particularly today. Very well. 2 years ago, we figured out that confidentiality is what is missing in cloud storages. So we invented Cryptomator, which is a cloud-optimized encryption solution that works on your phone or on your computer. It is very convenient to use it, and then only encrypted data go actually to the cloud. It won the CeBIT Innovation Award in 2016 because it is so user-friendly, and besides, it is also an open-source technology, so that we are very trustworthy. We can prove that, and it works with any cloud and on any platform. This is what makes us stand out. We went with a Cryptomator Inside strategy. So Cryptomator Inside means it can be white labeled. United Internet, the German internet company, asked us to white label Cryptomator for their brands 1&1, Web.de, and GMX, and we also went through an audit and got very nice results there. So we have got good technology and a proof for that. It also means that we have got cryptographic libraries that can be integrated into third-party applications. We are integrated in CyberDuck, Mountain Duck, this Swiss FTP client, as well as in PowerFolder, a sync and share software solution in Germany, from Düsseldorf actually. But now it's time to take Cryptomator Inside one step further and to integrate it into our new product that we call Defender. You can think of that as a platform that stores all company files and makes them accessible via the network drives to all employees. But naturally, it is much more than that. When you drop a file into Defender, it is checked for ransomware. It goes through an antivirus scanning before the file is encrypted, stored, and then backed up automatically to a cloud storage to have also to have it safe everywhere. And the good thing is, you see, there's there's two arrows that are still not filled. It's a platform solution that can be added, or to which additional filters or functionality can be added very easily. We are pretty much at the beginning with the solution, but we would like to equip the SME market, particularly in Germany, but then, of course, worldwide eventually, with a very easy to use and very easy to deploy solution, because more than 60% of German companies do not use encryption so far to protect their data. And this is a no-go because there's so much intellectual property that is important. So this is something we would like to roll out on a large scale. For this matter, we look for advisors and we look for contacts to the high security industry and also to the healthcare branch, because we think that a lot of good things can be done with cryptography in this area. Thank you very much.
All right. Very good.
Thank you.
Now we'll have a few questions with the jury. Who would like to begin? Yes, over there.
Can you tell us about the business model? Like, what are you actually selling?
Well, besides the apps we are selling with Cryptomator in the app stores, we are licensing out the technology. For instance, like United Internet is paying us a monthly or yearly fee, depending on how you want to see that. And we also will take this licensing fee to the Defender model. It will be paid per month and user so far.
It's a good old product versus feature question. So isn't this a feature that any serious cloud provider would have to have anyway, and you would be pushed aside because they have a broader piece of the value chain?
We would certainly agree that it would be a good thing if every cloud provider would have a solution like that with different things. The reality is that the mostly used cloud providers do not provide it so far, and particularly not in such a comprehensive way, because we provide everything that businesses are afraid of today pretty much in one value chain automatically. And besides that, it's very easy to deploy, which is also a good thing. It runs kind of in the company, but without really needing any too much work from an IT administrator, for instance.
Question over there. Yes, Ralph.
What would you say is a key differentiator for you compared to other crypto security companies, of which there are many in that space?
That's correct on the first hand, because we've got open source technology. We got a very nice, kind of a reference with United Internet last year, and simplicity is the main source. We are thinking about UX, about user experience very much, and we think that showing people transparently what is actually happening there, going visually inside all these things to make transparent what people usually don't understand but have to understand in times like this. This is what we really try to pursue and how we would like to communicate this thing.
All right, we have time for one more question.
Please.
What's your strategy for key management?
Our strategy for key management is, for Cryptomator, we're thinking about a PGP integration right now, but for Defender, which is the thing that is that's supposed to be rolled out in the market, all the keys will remain in the company. It is an on-premise key server thing, so that they have full control over the keys. Obviously, within the company, they are also encrypted. We've got lots of experience from Cryptomator there. We have encrypted master keys that then are able to decrypt all the files that are supposed to be accessed by the employees of the company, of the corporation.
All right. Okay, I think we can wrap the questioning up there. If the jurist would prepare your scores.
All right. Thank you very much, everyone.
Okay. All right, let's see the scores, please. 3, 4, 2, 4, and 3. Thank you very much, and thank you. Oh, cheers. All right, it's time once again for the randomizer. Stage, please show us the next contestant. Okay, over there on the end, we have Stefan with SzeleSTIM. SzeleSTIM, thank you. It is difficult. All right, let's just take time to double check that your slides are up.
Yes, they are.
No, this is you. Okay, fantastic. All right, could I ask the stage to please begin the countdown?
If you're ready, show us your future. And go.
Every day, 190 pain patients die due to opioid misuse. We are SzeleSTIM and we are solving this. Why is this? This is because today's pain therapy are most inefficient. They are symptomatic and don't treat really the system. That's why in 20% of cases, it comes to chronification of pain. Those patients have to suffer from heavy life disabilities and in the worst case get addicted to drugs. We are offering the solution. We are supplying auricular vagus nerve stimulation to sustainably solve the pain. We have developed a wearable which is as small as this. You put behind the ear, put some electrodes in the ear and trigger the brain to fight the pain. By this, we are the only ones who offer a minimal invasive and personalized treatment which is clinically proven and has the best price performance on the market. And this market is obviously huge. It is 260 million people suffering from chronic pain in the 3 major healthcare markets. More than 50% of those have chronic back pain, which we are focusing on. A tremendous number of patients take opioids, which led to the national emergency and crisis in the US, as you have known. So we are right on the spot to act on this crisis. The market is dominated by big pharma and invasive stimulation techniques, and our competitors are mainly invasive stimulators, which are risky, have side effects, and are costly. Our business model is simple. We develop recurring revenue by selling single-use devices to doctors. Each patient needs around 6 devices per year to get sustainable pain treatment. Further, we sell trainings and a comprehensive therapy management system. We do the DACH region on our own, and we license other major regions in the world. By this, we are prepared to grow very fast. Until now, we have reached a secure IP portfolio. We have a prototype ready. We have major KOLs in Austria fixed. This is the Medical University of Vienna and the private clinic. In the moment, we are in the industrialization phase of our product, and next year we go to market and start with big post-market clinical trials. This is only possible with the perfect team. We have the most experienced clinician in the team, which has more than 10 years of experience in auricular stimulation, with over 40,000 applications of such technology. We have a team from the Vienna University of Technology of the biomedical field and some long-standing experts in regulatory and business development in the medtech market. By this, it's your opportunity to join our team to help us and fight together chronic pain. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Next, the questions from the judges. Over here, yes?
Sure. So who do you view as your chief competition now that's dealing with this problem in this unique way?
There is no direct competition. There are a few people who are doing it minimal invasive on the body, in the neck or in the ear region, but they are only supplying a one-fits-all solution. So it's a simple stimulation for every patient. What we are doing is we are personalizing it. We are measuring the health state, we are tracking the pain, we are adapting the stimulation to the needs of the patient.
All right. Next up, over here.
Two very short questions. One, are there any side effects in this technology? And the other one, it's a very differentiated solution. Are there any adoption problems in the market? What is the feedback? And this is tightened back to traction in the market, how to achieve high traction.
Very good questions. So side effects, of course, there are. Mainly, it is irritation at the stimulation site. We capture this by changing the ear, right? From week to week, for instance, to get rid of this. There are some autonomous reactions in some patients, some bradycardia, tachycardia, but very short periods, which typically go away. That's the main thing. But we don't have the side effects of drugs, for instance. Concerning adoption, of course, it's a new technology, right? It is intense to explain to the people, but the feedback is very good. So we have the clinical expert in the board, right, which has invented the thing, which has applied it over 40,000 times in the major clinic in Austria. We have the major pain clinic in Austria in the boat, the biggest private clinic in Austria in the boat. So the adoption is quite well.
How much percent of the total, so to say, possible target group can you actually address with this? Do you know, roughly?
We are targeting the market of the invasive stimulators. Those are patients which are really easy to capture, right? They don't want to have the implant, which is very expensive and is risky. The market size at the moment is $3 billion of this one.
Of this specific
Only the invasive stimulators. Mm-hmm. The drugs have $49 billion. So we are benchmarking with the invasive stimulators.
Okay. And second quick question, like how much calibration needs to be done and by whom? Is this something where you need a doctor to do that? Or?
The device is minimal invasive, so you always need a doctor to do it. It's a kind of an outpatient setting. You go to the doctor applies it, you go home for 10 to 14 days and come again. And typically after 6 weeks in chronic pain, you have a good traction. So you can get off of it.
Very cool.
Thank you very much.
All right, excellent. If you could prepare your scores, please. Good, and you could stay right here while we judge. The judges are going to give you your scores. No worries, no worries. And your scores, please. 5, 4, 5, 5, 4. All right, thank you very much. All right, stage, please show us who's next. All right, it is Smokeless with Danielle. There's your clicker and your mic. And I see that we already have your slides up. So I'll ask the stage to start the countdown. Countdown, please.
Give us your future now. Go.
Most of us have lost a family member or beloved one to cancer. In fact, every 6 seconds, one person dies from the consequences of smoking. That sums up to over 5 million people a year. To put things clear, after the final pitches, statistically, nearly half of the room is dead. Last year, 700 million people tried to quit smoking. The hard reality is 96% fail. But why is that? The reason lies within the complex structure of smoking addiction, which consists of a physical addiction to the drug nicotine and a mental addiction to smoking itself. Those two are inextricably linked to each other. That means, in order to successfully quit, you need to consider both components at the exact right time. The problem is, not a single solution worldwide is able to achieve this. Smokeless is the first product that combines both components in a unique way by using smart technology. To take care of the physical addiction, we have developed a smart e-cigarette that analyzes your smoking behavior, develops tailor-made plans, and then, fully automated, without you doing anything, gradually reduces the nicotine intake over time in a way to avoid withdrawal symptoms. To take care of the mental addiction, we use gamification combined with a community approach. That means you compete in challenges against family members or friends. Within the app, you can see your own progress compared to the performance of the other ones. This motivates you to stick to the program, not because you want to quit, but because you can't stand losing against your best friend. This is how it looks like at the moment. But we are not just combining both components, but do it in a unique way that conquer all known reasons for failure, like the lack of individualism, the myth of the feeling of smoking, or the social aspect. Last year, there were 1.1 billion smokers spending more than $12 billion on withdrawal products. Within the next 7 years, this number grows to 1.5 billion people spending more than 22 billion on nicotine de-addiction and cessation. Since January this year, we officially passed the $1 trillion mark of economic damage. We will have 3 different revenue streams: a one-time fee for the hardware, recurring revenue for the liquids, and an affiliate deal within the app. We started in June, have done all our necessary tests. We'll run a crowdfunding campaign and be live by the next year. We are supported by big names like Hofburg, universities, the government, and super cool people like Jeff Burton. But who are we? That's Michael, our techie, Michael, our designer, Patrick is our techie, and I will take care of the business stuff. We are Smokeless, and we make you stop.
All right, thank you very much. That happens sometimes. Okay, so now questions from the judges, please.
I mean, this is such an obvious idea. Isn't there other people out there doing that already?
Well, at the moment, there is no direct competitor. We do have a lot of different solutions like gums, patches, sprays, but they're all not working. I don't know why there is no competition, but at the moment, there is nobody live with a holistic approach like we do, tackling physical as well as mental addiction using smart technology.
So how many people quit smoking using your solution so far?
Well, since we are not live, I cannot give representative numbers. We just tested it on our own and some friends. We tested the concept of combining both, and we had a 100% success rate, but of course we are biased, and the reason might be a different one.
Was there a relapse rate on that group?
Well, no, we just tested the basic functionality, and we're going into a clinical trial when we leave here. So next month, we're starting everything and getting data on that.
How are you handling manufacturing of the device?
We do have a partner, which is a big medical company running facilities in China, which are medically accredited, and they will take care of the manufacturing.
Over here? Yes, please.
Which countries are you going to directly target the product to for your sales efforts?
Whole Europe, China, and the US.
Because in Europe, there's been quite a reduction in smoking, whereas in Asia, it's still a very big issue.
Exactly. But the reduction is just, that's kind of making the figures nicer. Relatively, we are reducing it, but absolutely, more people start smoking. And there are still a lot of people in Europe still smoking. Of course, it will not be our focus market. Every third cigarette is smoked in China, so we will focus on that, but we should not leave out Europe, since we are born and raised in Europe, and we want to make the world a better place in Europe too.
All right, good, good. Another quick question.
How much is one quit smoker worth to you from a business perspective?
Well, that depends on the location. We are selling the hardware for about like 149, producing it for 26 euros. The liquids will be cheaper than smoking a pack of cigarettes with the equivalent outcome, but will range above 250 to 3 euros, and in the production will be 20 to 30 cents.
All right, okay, I think that's enough time for the questions. And if the judges could prepare your scores. Okay, your scores, please. 3, 3, 4, 4, and 1.
Thanks.
All right, thank you very much. All right, could we have the next contestant? right, it is Pago with Adrian. There's your clicker and your mic.
Really excited to be here.
Excellent, excellent. And these are your slides indeed?
Yes, they are.
Okay, so stage, take it away.
Show us how you want to change the future, and go.
So there's a lot of people here solving really big world problems, but we're here to save everybody time. My name is Alex, and I'm from Pago, and together with this amazing team, we're trying to solve this problem, which is people queuing up to pay their utility bills. Throughout Eastern Europe, there's over 70% of payments still done in cash. Some of you might say that this is already solved through online platforms or mobile apps, but we thought of building a better experience. So we brought everything into one app. All your values and due rates are there, and it's a one-click payment. We do this by connecting all your online accounts. Afterwards, you can see and manage multiple locations, as well as check your PDF bills. After each payment, the card is saved, so you can use it for later usage. Also, we bring the users the payment history from all the channels, not only those paid in Pago. Also, we send the users relevant notifications that they can customize according to their needs. We started the app a while ago, and we launched in September last year with bills and top-ups. We recently added the mandatory car insurance and the road tax, and we now plan on launching the local taxes and the fines and getting ready for the PSD2 use cases. We monetize from the services as well as from data. So let's say this user has just changed house and his location has a different icon, so we can let IKEA, for example, know, and they can actually sell them at the right time, a right product. Also, these other big online retailers could be quite interested in this information. In Romania, we have Banca Transilvania as a shareholder and MasterCard as a partner ever since the beginning. We recently passed over 100,000 downloads with 71 suppliers covering the whole country. We are proud to say we have one of the highest rated apps in Romania for finance, and we now have Romania as validated. So we recently went through the MKB FinTech Lab Accelerator, and now MasterCard is keen on helping us push the solution throughout Eastern Europe. We added Visa on board as well as regional partners, and we now need partner banks, as well as looking for an investment for a Series A investment. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And next, if we could have the questions from the judges as we wait the timer out.
Hi.
Okay, now we can begin. Yes.
Okay, great. So, so I understand this is a problem that you're solving regionally. Have you identified other parts of the world where you could utilize your product?
Some of the countries in Southeastern Asia and maybe in Africa as well. But for now, we really want to make sure that we give and deliver the right experience in Eastern Europe. There's at least 100 million people that can use this.
Yeah, and a follow-up to that, I guess, in
yes.
in the U.S., at least, the banking industry sort of does this, where you can match up your account to your bills and pay on a phone. Is that a challenge for you?
No, not really. Since, again, throughout Eastern Europe, direct debit hasn't had any adoption. It's under 5%, so that's actually the big opportunity for us.
All right, up next over here, and then, yes.
Yeah, one question. I mean, why would you go for advertising as a monetization model? That seems very weird to me.
Well, we do have one unique kind of information that a lot of retailers don't know or don't have any other place to buy it from. But initially, we just want to push our services because that's more important. So we're not in that phase yet.
Yeah, with 100K users advertising is going to be difficult. So
yeah.
Anyway. Yeah.
I have a question. How much you have spent already developing this solution, and would prevent other teams with the same amount of investment developing something similar?
So the problem doesn't come from the development or the investment part, but it comes from the partners. So we couldn't have done anything without the largest bank in Romania already, and MasterCard, of course, and now Visa. So, yeah.
All right, and another question over here.
You said that your target is obviously Eastern Europe, where this is not a developed business yet. What makes your product unique, even in Eastern Europe?
We managed to simplify and deliver the right experience for each of the services, and we have a really big, how should I put it? We keep the user as our highlight, and their reviews are the most important for us. So delivering the right experience throughout all these countries is what means the most to us.
Okay. All right. So we just have a few seconds left. Okay. So if the judges would prepare your scores.
Thank you very much.
Okay. And your scores, please. 3, 3, 1, 1, and 2. All right. Thank you very much. Okay. Good. Good. Thank you. All right. If I could ask the stage to choose the next contestant, please. Okay, please come on down. Alexander from Embo Tech. There's your clicker and your mic. Just pop it out, okay. And we do have your slides ready. So stage, take it away.
No, you take it away and go.
Hi, everyone. I'm Alex, CTO and co-founder at Embo Tech, and we build safe, real-time motion planning software for autonomous vehicles. And we are at Pioneers because we are looking for two things: customers who want to try this out on their vehicle, and investors who want to participate in the next round. So the task of motion planning is to decide how to steer, accelerate, and brake a vehicle such that you safely go from A to B, given all the inputs from sensing and maps and localization. Here's an example where we put, I have to apologize, these are the wrong slides, but I try to do it anyways. So we gave our software to the team of ETH Zurich that are building up this race car. And what the software does is what happens on the right side. We compute this trajectory 50 times a second. Whenever a sensor gives an update, we can recompute this trajectory, and that is how you establish this racing behavior here on that car. So really the core USP of this company is that we can compute this complex motion at physical limits on auto-grade hardware. We can adapt this to any type of vehicle. You can have a street cleaner, you can have a forklift, you can have a Porsche, and that Porsche can even have a trailer. We don't care, we can adapt it very quickly to those vehicles. And the last point I want to make is that we really took care to choose algorithms that we can certify for safety that is needed if you want to roll this out on serial production vehicles. This is an overview of the product portfolio of Embo Tech. We have the core mathematical algorithms packaged up in Forces Pro. This is a product that we have been selling for more than three years now. That is licensed to customers, and one customer is bringing this to serial production very soon. On top of of that mathematical library, we put application-specific layers, such as a parker, a highway driver, and an urban driver. And the ultimate business model is that whenever the software ends up on a vehicle, we receive a license fee. Renault, for example, put this on a vehicle that, where they showed that it does an obstacle avoidance maneuver automatically. So when an obstacle pops up in front of you, you would automatically avoid that obstacle and go around it. I invite you to have a look at this TechCrunch article. Okay. What is even cooler than autonomous cars are autonomous rockets. We are working with the European Space Agency on doing these trajectory computations that we do for cars, also for rockets. When you want to land them back on Earth, you need to compute this in real time, and that is what we are developing for the European Space Agency. Thank you very much.
Oh, sorry. All right, thank you. So next we'll have the questions from the judges. Over here, yes, please.
Thank you so much, very impressive. This is a very difficult problem to solve, and especially it's difficult to solve it with the limited computational power. What's your secret?
Exactly. So, as I've shown, the secret is really in this Forces Pro, which is the core. It's a numerical optimizer. It's an optimization library, and we developed this from my PhD a couple of years ago. And that is capable of computing this in real time. That's the core of all of it.
Can you give us a little bit of an estimate on the business value that this algorithm, so to say, brings to the total value chain of autonomous driving? Because it seems that, yes, it's a specific algorithm, but I assume it's a very small part of the total tech stack.
Yes, totally. So we are providing really this physical motion planning layer in a big stack. The business value is difficult to estimate, so just to give you some references, on a car where you have an OCR, so a software that detects your writing, there are license deals that's usually $1 or $2 that you pay if you have that. On the other hand, if you get cameras and sensor fusion, that's in the region of 100 to 200 euros in the car, okay? So a real-time operating system is about 5 euros in the car. And then we have to see where we lie in this spectrum.
But within that spectrum, it's only one specific component coming from you,
yes.
right?
Yes, yes. We provide a physical motion planning layer. We don't, maybe I should also mention, we don't do AI. It's really a numerical optimizer. AI would go in the level above. This is
finally, somebody not doing AI. That's really cool.
I think so too. For certification, this is very important. Yeah.
Since there aren't any commercially successful autonomous vehicles now, how do you keep yourself afloat while you're waiting perhaps years or decades for your customers to exist?
Exactly. It's an excellent question. So we believe that it will, as you said, it will take a decade until fully autonomous cars come. So level 4, level 5 is really years away. We think that the majority of the money we will make will be in level 2, level 3 systems, like this emergency avoidance system that I've been mentioning. That's a system that you can, that takes over the car in a difficult situation, in an emergency situation. And that level 2, level 3 systems will be rolled out on a large number of vehicles. You have 80 to 90 million vehicles built each year, and about 80% of those vehicles have level 2, level 3 systems in the next 5 years.
Do you have a signed partnership with Renault or any other manufacturers?
So we are currently running 10 proof of concept projects with OEMs and tier 1 suppliers that are evaluating the technology. Yeah, so we're working with almost everybody. Yeah.
All right, that's all the time we have for questions. And I'll take that and this. And, oh, wait, sir. Oh, wait, come back. Actually, we want you to stay here for the judges' scores. Yes, no worries. No worries. So, judges, are you ready with your scores? Okay, the scores, please. 4, 5, 1, 3, and 4. All right, well, thank you very much. And we're ready for our next contestant. Stage, could you please show us who's next? Oh, all right. Excellent. I believe Leonardo? Yes. Okay, Leonardo from Enzymes. There's your clicker. And you've got your microphone, and your slides just came up.
Okay, perfect.
All right, so stage, please, start the countdown.
Are you ready? Go.
Hi, everyone. I'm Leo, CEO and co-founder of GE Enzymes. And with our company, we are engineering the proteins of tomorrow. Nature has spent billions of years creating a mechanism to enable life. Tiny molecular machines that allow us to breathe, eat, digest, to live. Thousands of years ago, humans realized the potential of this machine, and we call it proteins. And we use those proteins to create wine, beer, and cheese. Later, we tried to optimize those proteins to perform advanced tasks, such as curing cancer or treating diabetes. But engineering a protein is not an easy task. A protein is a sequence made up of 20 different subunits, and the sequence determines its shape, and its shape determines its function and how efficient it is at performing it. An average protein is 300 subunits. That means that the conformational landscape is 20 to the 300. That's more conformations than atoms in the known universe. So this is a really difficult task. But if we solve it, we can meet global challenges, such as feeding a growing population, finding new nutritional source, or creating new materials with desired properties, improving drugs, or improving diagnostics. That's why at GE Enzymes, we are using deep learning to understand the patterns behind the protein structure and protein function. And we have created MADI. And MADI was trained to be able to understand how nature built proteins and how protein works. And because we are using deep learning, we take advantage of GPUs, and we are 1,000,000 times faster compared to other algorithms. You can see here how MADI it's predicting the 3D structure of a protein, and the results are staggering. We have reached state-of-the-art accuracy in just 1 minute. That can take several weeks for common algorithm. And we are deploying our technology through a B2B business model. We start with the accelerated protein design, where we take as an input any required protein function, and we design the right protein. We then test those proteins at a lab scale, and finally, we deploy the technology into the final product through a royalty model. And we are able to decrease the cycle time 80%. We are working right now on a lipid engineering side and also food antimicrobials to extend food shelf life, replacing inefficient and dangerous chemical compounds. We recently closed our seed round, 1.7 million from global partners. And none of this would be possible without our highly skilled multidisciplinary team that combine biotechnology experience, bioinformatics, artificial intelligence, and sales and marketing. So we invite you to join us to engineer the protein sauce tomorrow. We are GE Enzymes. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you. And next we have the questions from the judges. Let's start over here this time. Do we have any questions?
How do you compete in both your research and what you are evolving with the pharma companies and the biotech companies that are already well established in this space? How do you distinguish yourselves?
So the industry is moving from a vertically integrated model to an horizontal model. So there is no space for catalyst, as we call it ourselves. So we catalyze the generation of new proteins or new products. So companies are actually externalizing their R&Ds to other new companies in the space.
All right, another question?
How do you decide what applications to work on or what proteins to design?
Well, so that's actually come from our clients. They come to us and they ask us, like, we want to design or we want to introduce a new flavor or a new aroma in a product or a new texture. And then we take that, we look for the reaction, we design the protein, we test that protein at a lab scale, and then we deploy the technology.
And another one?
So is your product actually the new protein that you develop, or is your product the design algorithm, etc.?
So the final product, it's actually the protein, and we have a royalty model. So once the protein is deployed, we get those royalties, and also milestone payments within the development phase.
And these guys would do that? Wouldn't they just would like to have access to your process technology, which I understand is
No, that's proprietary. We didn't grant access to any company yet unless they pay the price. But we have many partnerships going on, so we have proved this model.
David, yes, over here. Go ahead.
What level of revenues do you expect in 2 years, let's say, or in 5 years?
So right now we have 1 million booked just for the next month. So we're expecting about 16 million revenue in the next 3 years, just from the upfronts. So we're not contemplating the royalties.
All right, we have time for another question. Yes, David.
So I hear you're very customer centric, and you're getting your the path that you want to follow from your customer. If you had to pick a lane, pick a revenue stream, where would that be? Where would you be most profitable?
Also, we do have 2 internal development programs. One's for the lipid engineering, where we are creating new textures for the food industry, transforming saturated fats into unsaturated, transforming solid texture to liquid texture. That's very desirable for the final consumers.
All right, and that's all the time we have for questions. Thank you. And judges, if you could prepare your scores, stay right here. And the scores, please. 4, 4, 4, 5, and 2. All right, thank you very much. And next up, if we could have the randomizer one more time. I'm sure the mystery is killing you. I think we have to do it just for the sake of the show. Yes. So stage one more time. Who could possibly be next? Hey! All right, there's your clicker and your microphone.
Yeah, okay.
And we'll make sure that you got your, yes, your slides are up.
I'm just going to lean this on.
Okay, will that be all right? Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, excellent. All right, stage, if you could begin, just pop it out. There you go. If you could begin the countdown, please.
We're very thrilled to hear about your future. Are you ready? Go.
Hello, everybody. My name is Hayden. I'm one of the co-founders of Materialise X. In a nutshell, basically, what we are doing is we're combining material science and machine learning to be able to reduce development time of new materials. And currently, we're primarily focusing on adhesives, right? And usually, what I like to do is the poll. Can somebody raise who's actually owning an IKEA chair in their homes? It's a brilliant room. Usually, like when you go into different rooms, you realize like what the net worth is. Anyways, so basically we work in engineered wood. We're trying to make adhesives for that market. The key problem in that market is the adhesive that they're using. It was developed in the 1940s, has not changed dramatically. There's urea formaldehyde, phenol formaldehyde, various types of formaldehyde. Regulation has been really, really tough on them. So since the 80s, they've been trying to reduce the amount of emissions. So now they're in a very, very interesting area where they want to find alternative adhesives. The other issue is that you're working with a heterogeneous material like wood. So the variation in the process differs from one batch to another, right? Which time of the year did they get this wood from? What was the weather conditions? What are the fiber distributions, sizes, etc.? So it's a highly complex process to be able to actually predict as to what the outcomes will be. We are 3 co-founders from Oxford, Cambridge, and Imperial College London. We are combining machine learning, chemical engineering, chemistry, and together we're trying to solve that issue. So we developed a new bioadhesive that is fully non-toxic, and we basically managed to get it within 1 year from lab scale to pre-pilot production. So these are one of the samples. So we have great performance. It's a very cost-competitive adhesive that's currently out there. And one of the key elements of it is its scalability. They are bioadhesive, but they basically compete with arable land. So it's very hard for these companies to actually cope with it. And yeah, this is basically our boards. I can show around later. And these are our prediction software. So what we want to do is we basically take data from our customers, their manufacturing site. We combine it with empirical data in our labs, as well as with theoretical models that you find online in various different libraries, and trying to be able to inform the optimization of that adhesive for that specific application. So our first, obviously, product is an adhesive, but what we want to do is to be able to scale up into various other industries. What we're currently offering is a new adhesive that we've literally last week filed the PCT and international patents for the composition and the process of that adhesive. and an optimization software for our customers. So together we are Materialise X, a data-driven material science company. So if you have any questions, please feel free. Thanks.
All right, thank you. And free samples. What more do you want?
One sample.
So,
I'll put this back though. Okay.
Now we have time for questions with the judges.
Yep.
And would anyone like to begin first? Yes, over here.
So you run your complex algorithm to create the adhesive, and now you have the product to sale. Are you done?
No. This is like pre-pilot production, so it's a lot more complex than that. So what we're trying to do is to really validate the idea of applying AI in the material optimization with this. And the key factor that actually led us to this company was the fact that we had invented a new adhesive, but we just said, okay, if you do the conventional route to market, it will take 3 to 4 years. So is there a different way to be able to actually apply machine learning in that area? So with this, what we are trying to do is to validate the idea of machine learning in material science. And I think in the next 10 years, there will be a huge influx and impact of AI in that sector. So just to give you an example, IBM, NASA, Tata Steels, they're all working on this, but they only focus on high performance materials. What we want to do is to really do that for everyday materials in the future.
All right, another question? Yes, over here.
So thank you so much. Can you explain a little bit better what artificial intelligence is doing in this particular case? Because everyone is using artificial intelligence today. Well, artificial intelligence is good when you have massive amounts of data that you would like to analyze. So what's here the
I think, first of all, thank you very much for the question. It's really important. So like the quality of data that you collect in the lab is highly important. I think the previous probably guys are also working in a similar area. Obviously, we're focusing primarily on materials. But the quality of data that you collect in the lab is very important. You combine that with data that you have from commercial partners, and this is like all the processing parameters. Combine that with a lot of theoretical models online that you can get. It does not tell you how you should compose the material. It just says, okay, this is where you should explore next. So it reduces, for us at least as a small startup, substantially the development time. And in the future, it is ideally to be able to reduce even further.
So I assume the cost sensitivity is a huge topic in this area. So what's the price advantage of your product?
So we've done initial cost estimates for the adhesive. It's around 20% more expensive than conventional formaldehyde adhesives, right? We are amongst the fastest bioadhesives in the market. And one key element that differentiates us from any other adhesive that's out there is that the feedstock that we synthesize is industrially produced. You don't grow it somewhere. You actually produce it on site. And this is a key added value that we think that will be able to actually replace the current toxic adhesives that's out there in the market.
All right. Okay, I think that's all the time we have for those questions. If the judges could prepare their scores, please. And judges, your scores, please. 3, 4, 3, 2, and 4. All right, thank you very much. So who do you think is the winner? Let's hear it. Yell out who you think the winner is. Yell out. Okay. A lot of different choices. Let me ask the stage. Stage, who do you think is the winner? Any wild guesses?
We will see.
All right, it's time to find out who the winner is. Stage, would you please open the doors? What do we have here? An envelope. An envelope which contains the name of the winner. Would you like to find out?
Chris, open the envelope.
All right, and the winner is SzeleSTIM! Uh-oh. Uh-oh. All right, this is a Pioneers tradition, the champagne shower. Whoa.